What's up, people? Joe Winko here, your favorite Hawaiian guy, and here's my next episode of Joe Winko Talk. So, this is definitely going to be an X-rated episode of Joe Winko Talk. So, if you're under 18, please do not watch this video. And if you're homophobic, definitely don't watch this video. And this is also going to be a long episode of Joe Winko Talk because I have quite a bit of stuff to talk about. I've been wanting to talk about this for a while. This episode of Joe Winko Talk is going to be about why I love men with beards. Before I get into that, however, let me give you guys some background information in case this is the first video of me that you're watching. I am officially a gold star gay guy. I'm not attracted to women at all. No offense to any girls who are watching this video. I only like men. However, my sexuality is very strange. I'm only attracted to men, but I just don't like penis at all. As in, I don't suck cock and I can't take it up the ass. Which is honestly a major reason why I can't ever find a boyfriend or a lover at all, but don't really want to talk about that right now. So technically, I am a total top. 8 inches circumcised if you seriously want to know. However, the thing that I really truly enjoy the most sexually is having my penis sucked on by another man, and only another man, human with the Y chromosome. There honestly is no other man on the face of the earth who has ever existed who loves having their penis sucked by another man as much as I do, really. And I'm not even kidding. I'm honestly dead serious about that. I mean, I have autism, so yeah, very serious about that. But I only let really special guys do that, just a heads up, really. But one major misconception that a lot of overly simple-minded gay guys sometimes have is that the guy who's sucking penis is the feminine role, while the guy who's getting his penis sucked is the masculine role. But in all honesty, that's actually far from the truth, really. The guy who's sucking the penis actually has the most power, really. And the guy who's getting his penis sucked is actually the more vulnerable one, really. I mean, that's the whole reason why I enjoy having my penis sucked so much, is the vulnerable feeling, which I can definitely ramble a lot more about, but I'll save that for a different video. But with the whole feminine thing, really, there's honestly nothing feminine about a man sucking another man's penis, honestly. Absolutely nothing feminine about it. Penis sucking is definitely a man's job. Women do not know how to suck a guy's penis right at all. No offense to any girls watching this video, but women do not know how to suck men off. It's strictly a man's job. In order to know how to suck a man's penis, you have to have one yourself. I don't mean to seem sexist or anything like that, but it's absolutely true, honestly. It takes a man to pleasure a man, and that is an absolute fact. So how that all goes into the topic of this video is that when a guy has a beard is definitely a masculine trait, honestly. So if a guy with a beard is like performing oral sex on me and I feel like his beard like rubbing and brushing between my legs, which is also something that I definitely enjoy, it makes me automatically aware that the human who has their mouth on my genitals between my legs is actually a male, and it like certifies that it's definitely a male, which I obviously would already be aware of by that point, really. But it feels really good having that extra reassurance, really, because I honestly do not want a female going anywhere near my parts. It's a no girls allowed zone, really. No offense to any girls watching this video, though. Another thing is, you rarely see men that have long beards, really. And it's honestly very sad because I absolutely love men with beards. And I am being a bit hypocritical when I say this because I always shave my beard off. And there's a lot of reasons why I always try to shave my facial hair, really. A major reason why is because I always want to hold on to the twink look, like the hairless face and everything like that. But then there are some men who don't really seem like they want to be twinks at all, and they never grow out like a really long beard because they don't like the way it looks on themselves. And I even had some guys say that they don't want to have a beard because they don't think it fits them very well and that they don't look good with a beard, which is absolutely false because literally any man, including myself if I wanted one, can rock a beard. I mean, no offense to them at all. If they don't want a beard, that's okay. But it is kind of sad, though, that they never want to grow out their beards really long. I actually love men with really long beards. It gives him like a mountain man look, really. And this is because of my autism mind. But when I see a guy with like a really, really long beard, it gives him like a mountain man look. Like he's some wild guy you see out in a forest while you're hiking in the woods. And he's like a hungry predator who wants to feed off of you. And by now you guys should know exactly what I mean when I think of another man feeding off of me. So that makes it even more erotic. He wants to like get between my legs and like suck on my penis and drain all the sperm out of my body. That's another reason why I really love men with long beards, really, because my autism mind and my imagination immediately takes me to that. But there is a lot more besides that. Another major reason why you never really see men with long beards, this is what I've been told, they do it for comfort reasons. Like when they have a long beard, it irritates them and everything. However, if you have like a long beard and you let it grow out and you don't shave for a really long time, what would eventually happen is your face would eventually get used to it and it wouldn't feel uncomfortable at all, really. I mean, just figured I might as well throw that out there. I have talked to quite a few guys who do have a beard. They never let it grow out very long. They'll keep it trimmed or they'll keep it shaved and they won't shave again until it starts growing really long. And they have like stubble all over their face. But the thing with that is when a guy has like really short stubble all over his face and he's like performing oral sex on me, it kind of feels a tad bit uncomfortable, really, because his stubble is scraping against my freshly shaved skin, and it doesn't really feel too well, honestly. But if a guy has like a really long beard and lets it grow out very long, what eventually is going to happen is the hair all over his face is eventually going to start getting really soft, really. So if a guy with a really soft, long beard is performing oral sex on me and I'm feeling his soft beard brushing between my legs, it's actually going to get me even more aroused and I'm definitely going to enjoy it because I feel his beard brushing between my legs. I know that it's another man who's orally copulating me, even have more assurance of that. And it's going to get me more excited. It's going to cause me to throb. It's going to cause my heart rate to go up even more. And it's going to cause me to ooze even more pre-ejaculate fluids, or pre-cum as they call it on the streets, because I actually can't get pre-cum by myself. Like if I'm masturbating, I don't ooze out pre-cum at all. However, if another man is like touching me and stimulating me, that's when I do start oozing out pre-cum, really. Like even if like a guy is just like grabbing my penis like through my shorts and like not even his bare hand is making contact with my penis, he's just grabbing it through my shorts or through my bulge, I do start trickling and oozing out a bit of pre-cum. A very small amount of pre-cum, honestly. I mean, if he's like down there sucking it and stimulating it, he gets a lot more, but yeah. So that's another thing that his long beard would definitely cause. It would cause me to ooze a lot of pre-cum and get me even more excited. So feeling his beard brush against me and brush against my penis and my pelvis and my balls, that would get me even more excited because I keep that area shaved. Well, I haven't really shaved in a while. I keep it more trimmed, really, so I have like no hair in the way down there. And the main reason why I do that is so if a guy with a long beard is going down on me and like orally copulating me, I just feel his hair between my legs instead, and it feels really good. And I'm able to get like a really close shave down there too. I mean, a really close trim down there too, because I use the Manscaper. So I have like virtually no hair between my legs, except for the spots that I sometimes will miss. So the only hair that I feel brushing between my legs would be another man's beard, and that's absolutely wonderful. That's actually the reason why I keep all the hair on my body like removed, why I don't want any hair on my body, because I just want to feel his hair on my body instead, really. Even though I would be perfectly fine with a guy who doesn't have any hair either, but still. Which actually leads me to my next point. Now, the thing with me is I actually keep my parts really fresh and really clean, besides like trimming them and everything. Like if I know that another man is going to be going down on me and performing oral sex on me, like I'll get into the shower and rinse off because I want to be like fresh and clean and everything. However, when humans get aroused, they start to produce pheromones. And let me read to you exactly what pheromones are. This is the definition from dictionary.com. Pheromones are a chemical substance produced and released into the environment by an animal, especially a mammal, such as a human, or an insect, affecting the behavior or psychology of others of its species. So, technically what that means is like one guy once told me that he loves my pheromone scent when he's performing oral sex on me. And this was a long time ago. It was one guy who performed oral sex on me a long time ago. He noticed how I always would shower all the time before he would start performing oral sex on me, and he started telling me to not shower before he puts my penis in his mouth because he wants to taste all my pheromones and he wants to like smell all my pheromones because they get him aroused and more in the mood. And not really sure if I remember. It was so long ago. I'm not really sure if I remembered if I actually did that, but I did keep that in mind, the whole pheromone thing. But even then, I still always showered all the time, and still to this day will always shower before another guy's performing oral sex on me because I want to be like fresh and clean. But even after I showered, if he's like going down on me for a really long time and orally copulating me for a really long time, I'm still gonna produce the pheromones while he's doing that, really. So imagine I'm with a nice man with a very, very long beard and he's like performing oral sex on me a lot. I'm feeling his beard rubbing between my legs. I'm getting aroused by it and I'm producing pheromones, and the scent of those pheromones are all getting entangled within his beard along with the scent to my penis and along with the scent to my balls as well. And then even after he's done orally copulating me, if he has to like go away for a bit and if we're like separated from each other and we're apart from each other, Technically, we still would not be apart from each other, actually, because the scent of my penis and the scent of my pheromones and the scent of my balls would still all be entangled within his beard, and part of me would still be with him. So even if he's like not physically with me, he still technically kind of is, because he's still smelling the scent of my penis and the scent of my balls and the scent of my pheromones all within his beard that are deeply entangled within his beard. And technically, what I'm imagining is that that would increase his urge to have my penis in his mouth and increase his sexual appetite and increase his urge to perform oral sex on me, and hopefully also increase his love for me as well and his feelings for me as well. Which is honestly the whole point, really. And then what I'm imagining is he would call me, and then he would tell me, Joe, I keep smelling you on my beard. I want more and more of you. I want to perform oral sex on you over and over and over again. I want to taste you all over again. I love you, Joe Winko. And then I would just be like, oh, that is so sweet. Of course we can. Let's get together again. And then it technically ends up becoming like a very erotic and very intimate and very steamy cycle. He keeps performing oral sex on me over and over again. He gets the scent of my parts and my pheromone scent entangled within his beard. And then even when we're apart from each other, we technically still aren't apart from each other, because he still has the scent of my penis and the scent of my balls and the scent of my boy parts and the scent of my sexual pheromones in his beard, which is increasing his appetite for performing oral sex on me over and over again. And he gets more and more addicted to it, and he knows he's always going to get it because I always love receiving it, especially from the same guy over and over again. That's always what I prefer. So he's going to keep doing it to me over and over again. And yeah, I imagine that would be an extremely romantic cycle, really. That's something that I honestly always wanted, obviously. But that's another good thing about a man having a beard. Seriously, he'll keep wanting to come back and keep wanting to perform oral sex on me over and over again. And if a guy is sweet enough to ask me, especially if he uses that terminology, if he's sweet enough to ask me for that and keep asking me for it over and over again, because you guys seen my previous episodes of Joe Winko talk about how I always wanted a obsessive male lover, really. If he's sweet enough to ask me for it over and over again and come back for it over and over again, he's definitely going to be getting it over and over again. And it would honestly be like a win-win for both him and I, really. Because I actually read online that sperm can actually work as an antidepressant. Like if a guy is like swallowing my sperm, especially my sperm, because I'm a type 1 diabetic and I have like lots of glucose in my sperm, which makes it taste sweeter. And if he's swallowing my diabetic glucose laced sperm over and over again, it's going to taste really sweet for him, but also he's going to absorb more and more of my DNA. And I even remember one guy who sucked me off a long time ago. He told me that my sperm gave him energy, and every single time he sucked me off and drank my sperm and ate my sperm, it gave him energy and he felt really powerful. And oh man, that really warmed my heart when he told me that. But by contrast, I myself actually suffer from insomnia, or sleep deprivation or insomnia. I'm not sure what term to use, but I think you guys get what I mean. Because of my autism, I have a difficult time falling asleep at night and staying asleep for a long time. And also because of my diabetes, that also goofs a lot of stuff up with me falling asleep. So I never really get enough sleep from time to time. That's why a lot of times I'm out of it and can't really do my YouTube videos very often. However, if I had a nice man with a beard performing oral sex on me over and over and over again, like when I have an orgasm, like it uses up a lot of my energy, and it makes me very tired. But when it's another man giving me an orgasm, it's even more intense. And like if he's like performing oral sex on me, making me orgasm over and over again, because I definitely can go multiple rounds. If he's performing oral sex on me over and over again and making me orgasm over and over again, eventually what's that gonna do is it's gonna cause me to get extremely tired, and it's gonna cause me to black out, really. And it's definitely gonna help my insomnia because I'm gonna be like passed out because I have this really nice man with a nice beard. I mean, he technically wouldn't have to have a beard, but it's a major plus based on all the other stuff that I mentioned, performing oral sex on me over and over again. And even when I black out and even when I pass out, that doesn't mean that he has to stop orally copulating me. He can still keep sucking my penis even while I'm asleep. And then some people might think, well, Joe, if he's sucking your penis while you're asleep, you're not going to be able to feel it at all. Well, that's actually far from the truth, because I remember I met one guy who kept sucking me off like over and over again, and I eventually like blacked out because he kept sucking me off over and over again, and I got really tired. Next thing I knew, I was laying in a cornfield, and it was all a dream, really, because like I usually have difficulty remembering my dreams, but if a guy is sexually pleasuring me while I'm asleep, I definitely do remember them. I had this dream that I was laying in the cornfield and I saw like the corn tusk above me and I saw the blue sky, and like I was really still, and I remember feeling extremely relaxed and extremely comfortable, but then I felt like this wet slobbering feeling between my legs, like like a man was performing oral sex on me, and I just felt myself like having an orgasm like over and over again. It wasn't really like back to back. I mean, because it takes me a while, especially if a guy keeps going at me over and over again, it's going to take me a while. But I just felt the sensations over and over again, and it was extremely pleasurable. And then even when I woke up with this same guy the next morning, I was back in bed with him, and then he told me that I was really sweet, and he says that he loves sucking my penis, and he said that even while I was asleep, he kept sucking my penis, and I even felt like that strained feeling in my pelvis, like I mean, obviously girls aren't going to know what this feels like, but for the guys watching this video, hopefully most of you are guys. You know that feeling you get when you're masturbating and right after you orgasm, and like for a while after you orgasm, you have like that somewhat post-orgasmic haze, like your pelvis is still like a bit strained from your muscles like ejecting the sperm out of your body. Like that's exactly what I felt the next morning. And then like he told me that he was performing oral sex on me while I was asleep, and I was like, "Oh, you were?" And I was like, "Oh, I felt all of that." And he was like, "Oh, really?" And I said, "Yeah, I had a dream that I was laying out in a cornfield and I kept feeling this wet slobbering feeling between my legs the whole entire time." And then he started to blush and he turned red and he's like, "Oh, that's so nice." And I was like, "Yeah, it is really nice." And I put my hand on on his shoulder and I smiled at him and he stared into my eyes, and then you guys know what happened after that. But that man actually did have a beard, and that was a maddening long time ago, but he had a beard also, and I felt that between my legs too. So, yeah, I knew it was him, really. But yeah, that's the thing. I absolutely love men that have beards, and there's so many reasons why, but those are the major reasons why I love a man with a beard, honestly. But one more thing that I'm going to say is that another reason why a lot of men don't grow beards, like they claim that it feels uncomfortable, but you can definitely get used to the feeling of having a beard. And some of them claim that they don't think it looks right, but any guy can rock a beard. Even I could rock a beard if I honestly wanted one. I mean, it's up to the other guy. I mean, it's his body, whether he wants a beard or not. But when a guy has a beard, I think it's very nice. I hope this video at least convinces one man to grow a beard and to grow it out very long, because it is very erotic. At least I find it very erotic, and I'm 100% certain that I'm not the only guy who finds a long beard erotic. Oh, duh, I know I'm not, really. But getting back to that, one reason why guys don't like having long beards is because they want to shave it to keep clean, and they do that for hygienic purposes. I mean, because I remember back when I was really young, like back when I was a teenager, I would never shave my facial hair at all, and I would always let it grow out really long. And some kids bullied me in school and called me a Sasquatch, and I didn't really take offense to that because I was like already like 16 or 17 by then. And the thing that caused me to want to shave my beard very often is that I would sometimes get food caught in my beard when I would eat. And I didn't like having food caught in my beard at all because I thought it was gross. However, if I was with another man who had a really long beard and he kept getting food caught in his beard and everything, what I would just do is I would just be like, oh, you have something caught in your beard. Let me pull that out for you. Okay, I'll take care of that. And I'm not gonna lie, I would actually love doing that. Like if I had like a lover and partner and he had a really long beard and I have to like help maintain it for him, I would love doing that. That'd be a lot of fun, really. And also I feel like I'd be like caring for him and like nurturing him in a way. I can't really explain it, but that's kind of like the feeling that I would get if I had like a mountain man with a beard, a really long beard. Whenever he gets something caught in his beard, I would like help take care of it and help keep it hygienic for him, really. And it would warm my heart, really. I know that sounds very strange, but that's another thing, really. I would love to help another man maintain his beard, make sure it's always fresh and clean, and make sure that it has the scent of my balls and the scent of my penis and the scent of my pheromones entangled within it. Oh yeah, definitely that. But yeah, that's basically it for my episode of Joe Winko Talk about why I love men with beards. Are there any guys who ever grew out a really long beard before? And how long were you able to grow it out? And how long did you grow it out? Really? That's one thing about having me as your lover and partner, by the way. I would never tell you that you need to shave. I absolutely would never tell you that you need to shave. Not just your beard, but anywhere else on your body, really. The only part of a man's body that I would really probably ever want him to shave is like around his ass, really. Like, only reason why is because if I'm like fucking his ass, like the hair could like stop it from being a smooth entrance, because I like having a smooth entrance when I'm engaging in intercourse with a guy, really. However, having oral sex performed on me is obviously my favorite thing. I mean, I'm much more passionate about that, really. But yeah. So that's it for this episode of Joe Winko Talk. I hope you guys all enjoyed listening to me talk about men with beards and why I like for men to have beards and why men should have beards. Every single man except me should have a beard. If they want to, though. So let me know what you think of everything I talked about, really. And don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr. So that's it. Peace out, people.